Thanks everybody for coming out. Well, we're gonna have, for safety, a couple folks in Dead Moose Eddy below the staircase. So if you come out of your boat at Exterminator or below, we'll pick you up in the eddy below. Have fun and take chances, paddle fast, if everybody has a safe race.
At the Maine Whitewater Championships through Ripigenus Gorge on the Penobscot River, Maine's most experienced kayakers race down Class 4 whitewater. The championships are actually a series of races that take place over 2 weekends on Maine's 2 most popular rivers. The first races take place on the Kennebec. The second set, here on the Penobscot, feature the iconic rapid known as the Cribworks. The water is relatively warm in the Penobscot in August. That is, by Maine whitewater standards. But back in April, on the Sowadobscook Stream in Hamden, it was a different story. Waters were frigid for the Elliott Lamb Memorial Race, which kicks off Maine's competitive whitewater paddling season.
I think just showcasing the great whitewater that Maine has. A lot of people don't even know about these 2 streams that are right here in Bangor. Today we're paddling the Sowadobscook, tomorrow we're paddling the Marsh. They're both really nice quality, class 2, 3 whitewater. So really nice streams.
It's always a blast. I love this race. This is one of my favorites, for sure.
Chris Sawyer looks forward to this race all winter long.
I mean, you definitely a little bit of an adrenaline junkie, I'm sure. It still gets my heart going. That's why I'm still doing it. It's a whole lot funner than a lot of other things, and it's reasonably cheap too. Once you have your gear, all you got to do is get to the river.
I started as a raft guide when I was in college, which is a great summer job.
Alex Horn is an eye doctor and also a professional sponsored kayaker. She first learned how to paddle here on the streams and rivers in central Maine.
All right, we have 6 safety spots today.
Now she's one of the race organizers for the Maine Canoe and Kayak Racing Organization, which puts on a dozen downriver whitewater races each year.
Maine has this great community of kayakers and canoeists that really took me in when I was starting to kayak, and they taught me how to go downstream and do all of this, and I kind of think about it in that way, like how can I get the younger generation to get really involved in this? You need somebody to kind of take you under their wing and show you what to do. So the Maine community is awesome, and I just think that we have so much to offer with whitewater here. I really just want to spread awareness about it.
Many recreational whitewater paddlers get started as raft guides, including John McDonald, or Johnny Mac, who's a legend in this world. At this race, he's acting in the role of safety.
Basically, I'm standing on the side of the river watching for people swimming and boats going over and giving them a hand, pulling them ashore with a throw bag.
This race is a tricky one, with 2 major sets of rapids.
The fast racers, they came through here, no problem. The rest of the crew that paddled the dead water, and then we had 2 boats that they had a little bit of a swim.
Even experienced racers like Chris Sawyer emerged with stories to tell.
I knew the approach that I wanted to take. I wanted to be slightly more to the right, and I wasn't. And I was like, okay, well, here we go. And I got swamped on that first wave where I hit. It just swamped me, and then the next wave turned me. The next wave flipped me over. I already knew I was going over before it happened.
It gets my adrenaline going. It's an addiction. I don't know what else to say. It is an addiction. And everyone you saw out there today, they're hardcore.
Local paddlers are eager for their sport to grow in Maine, and they've got big plans, including the construction of a whitewater park in Skowhegan.
In Skowhegan, our river park will enable you to actually kayak or surf right in our downtown river gorge. So essentially, the river park plan is to enhance the whitewater that we already have in the Kennebec River and make it usable and turn it into a kayak hole or a surfable green wave right in our downtown river gorge.
Christina Cannon is the president and CEO of Main Street Skowhegan. She helped raise more than $7 million for the construction of the park.
It's a huge project. It has taken about 20 years to get to where we are right now, starting with a feasibility study in 2005, an economic impact study in 2016, and now we're in the permitting process.
Not only will this river be transformed, but the landscape around it will be too. Right now, the river here is largely inaccessible. This project will make it easier to reach with accessible paths that can be used by wheelchairs.
We're really lucky in Skowhegan to have land adjacent to our downtown that is wooded and has some trails on it already. So we were like, let's just expand our trail network. And we're anticipating about 50 miles of trails, all accessible via our downtown.
Callanan believes the river park will transform Skowhegan, the region, and the sport of whitewater paddling.
There's a great market in this area for whitewater paddling in general. We are so close to some of the best whitewater rafting on the East Coast and a couple of really great whitewater rivers, the west branch of the Penobscot and the Kennebec River and the Forks. And I think that we're just going to see the whitewater sport grow in Maine overall.
The unique thing about our park is we're halfway down the Kennebec River. We have so much drainage upstream of us that we're going to be, I think, the highest volume whitewater park built, at least around here. The other one that is similar is in Georgia, is pretty high volume, but will be higher volume than probably 95% of the whitewater parks ever built.
When we can get them paddling when they're young, usually they end up being lifelong paddlers. It has picked up, there's a lot of enthusiasm. If they ever develop that whitewater park in Skowhegan, which I think is really going to be done, that's going to attract a lot of people, a lot of business. It'd be just great for the whole whitewater community.
Whitewater competitors believe their sport is about to take off and can't wait to see the future homegrown champions setting the pace on the Penobscot, Kennebec, and other thrilling waterways of Maine.